Hello and welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world. Well, today we have a special guest by the name of Mr. Carlos Soto. Carlos Soto is a dear friend. He's the father of one of the teachers at the Sandy Hook Elementary School. There was a shooting back in December 14, 2012. And his daughter was a school teacher, Victoria Soto. And she was one of the 27 that was killed during that biggest massacre in the history of the United States. I mean, there was the shooting took place at that school, and 27 that were killed, 20 children and 6 staff members, and the shooter himself committed suicide, but he had killed his mother as well before that. So it was something crazy, but something that's happening too often. Now it happened in Buffalo, New York, about 10 days ago or 15 days ago, and then happened most recently in Texas, and with all these individuals that were killed, these children that were killed. It's something that makes me feel very sad and very angry at the same time, because it's something that has to be done in order for these shootings to stop. There's I took some notes here about where some of the AR-15 rifles, they're being sold to these young kids out there, young folks, or to anybody, just because they want to purchase it because you're of age. I mean, 18 years of age, and you were able to buy an AR-14 with these magazines that holds 20 bullets, and I mean, 30 bullets. It's uncalled for. I mean, some of these guys cannot even buy liquor in the liquor store. You got to be 21. But yeah, you could go out and buy a weapon like a rifle like that. I mean, those rifles, the AR-15, were made for military purposes. They invented it for the military, not for the regular citizen. I mean, I'm not trying to say we're taking the rights of anybody of not buying a weapon. You have a right to have a weapon, but not. I mean, a red flag should go up when a young fellow like him, the young kid that came into that place last week to purchase a rifle, and then he even requested a bulletproof vest. I mean, that alone tells you, I mean, a red flag should go up. We have to do something about that. And hopefully that, I mean, the president was talking yesterday, he's talking about making some changes and whatnot. I hope that the Senate and Congress bring this up during the elections in November. Let's see what they're going to do. Sometimes they talk about what they're going to do for the country, what they'll do. But you know what? Once they're in there, nothing is done. They say, well, it's unconstitutional. We can't do this. We can't do that. That's not right. And one of the things is that I get upset about is it's happening too often. I mean, we have like over 300 shootings this year alone, and we're only here in June. I mean, this is uncalled for. We have to do something about this. So we have a guest on the show, Mr. Carlos Soto, the father of Victoria Soto, who's on the line. Mr. Soto, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay. It was nice having you on the show here. Now, one of the things I want to say, Carlos, is that, first I want to offer my condolences to you again and your family for the passing of your beautiful daughter, Victoria, and for the parents of the young kids in Texas and families in Buffalo, New York, most recently, that were killed unnecessarily. And I know it must have been something very hard for you to weather the storm like that. You hear this. Yeah, I mean, how does it feel, Carlos, that you are going through this like reliving this thing again? How does it feel? I mean, what can you tell us about that?
Well, it's kind of hard because when that happened, that Tuesday, my daughter called me and she said, Dad, do not watch the news. And normally I watch the news at 5:30. When she called me at 5:15, I said, why? She goes, another shooting like the one in Newtown, it happened again.
Yeah, you're talking about that was the one that happened just recently when your daughter called you, your other daughter called you. But when your daughter was in Newton, Connecticut, at the Sandy Hook Elementary School, that shooting, that had to be some bad experience that you had to go through. You and your family go through that, and now to relive that again I mean, it's got to be tough, you know. And so when your daughter called you and she told you, don't look at the news, and of course you have to look at to see what's going on. I mean,
No, I didn't. I listened to her. I didn't watch the news and nothing. And I didn't even know how many kids they got killed there, how many teachers. I really don't want to know because it's tough as a parent going through it once and happen again, and it's going to keep happening, Joe.
yeah,
Until we, the people, don't get all these people with up in the Senate and the House taken out of there, and because they work for us, but the way it's going, they're working for the gun people, you know, and because the gun people give us so much money a year to run the campaigns and things like that. That's where we had to make a change in the polls to take them out of there.
well, something has to be done. That's for sure. I mean, it's something that. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's all politics and whatnot. I mean, these senators and these congressmen. I mean, I blame both sides. I'm not just saying one side. I'm blaming both sides because they both sides are guilty of not complying to what they said they were going to do. They said they will vote for me. I'm going to make this happen. I'll be the right man. I'll be the right senator. I'll be the right congressman. I'm going to do the right things for you. Like I said before, they're in there. Then what happens? They say, well, can't do nothing. It's unconstitutional. We can't do this. We can't do that. But it's been happening too many. I mean, I remember the Columbine shooting that was in Colorado. That was one of the first big ones. And then came the Sandy Hook. And then now this one in Texas. And then in Buffalo, New York. I mean, but it's constantly. And there's thousands and thousands of killings every year. Not only with rifles, with guns as well. And I think that they do the background check. I mean, with a red flag, background check is so important. I remember one time I applied for a license in Puerto Rico, USA. And I applied for a license back in, I think it was in 1971. My first license, it took about 3 months for me to get cleared. They even came to check with the neighbors next door to make sure in the neighborhood that I was a good, solid citizen to be able to get a license to carry in Puerto Rico. You know, now here, we got to pay all this money to get a license and whatnot. What happens with that money? Use that money to, if you're going to have a team of individuals to go out and investigate before you get a license. I mean, even the rifles, if you're going to get a rifle, I mean, an automatic rifle that they use in the war, those are military rifles. Why should they hurry up and just give it to you? You can walk into a pawn shop, any gun manufacturer will pick up a rifle right on the spot. I mean, what kind of background check are they really doing on you? They have to really do an intense background check where you have to really go through the mill, not just, I mean, you get an 18-year-old comes into your place, wants to buy a rifle, the red flag should go up, being that all these things that are happening now. And I think that, Carlos, you as a father, you know, you have your wonderful daughter, Victoria, may she rest in peace. I mean, she was trying to protect these children. She tried to put them in a closet, hide them in a closet to keep them away from the shooter. And she ended up being in the middle of all this shooting. And this, from what I understand, one of her cousins had mentioned to one of the other networks that she was trying to hide the kids in the closet. And she ended up getting killed that way. I mean, it is so sad. It's even sad to talk about this to you, the father of this wonderful young lady, this teacher. Now, you have been doing something. I met you out in Vegas. You came out to Vegas. You came to my house, and we met with your friend, I think it was Bill, the fireman, and we talked about you were trying to set up playgrounds around the country, playgrounds in honor of your daughter and those children from the Sandy Hook mass shooting. What can you tell us about that?
So far, we have built since last time you saw us, we're up to 58 playgrounds right now.
58 playgrounds, okay.
The last one we just built, it was in Philadelphia. We got some in Puerto Rico, some in South Dakota, New Jersey, Connecticut. Anywhere that people want us to build a playground, and if the money's there, we will go there to build.
Good.
You know, and I enjoy talking to the parents because it makes it easier for them to hear it from me as a father that's been through it than hearing it from somebody else.
Right.
People say it gets easier down the line. Let me tell you, Joe, it don't get easier because you still carry your daughter always with you.
Sure.
And when I go to these playgrounds to talk, I always say, Vicky, I need your help. And she's always there to help me. People say that she's gone, but gone to them, but not gone to me.
Yeah,
She's always by my heart,
of course.
telling me what to do and what to say.
Exactly. Well,
And these people today in Texas, I'm hurting for them because what I've been through and what they're going through. You're going to see the politics there at the funeral and all that just for a show. Because when they get back to their house, they say, well, it's over. Let's go to the next day. Not for these parents. It's never over for them. And when you hear a shooting on TV, it brings memories back to you.
yeah, it opens up the wound again.
And I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to keep happening. This is not the last time. It's going to happen again. Until the politics don't work on it and change the law. Like right now down south, 18 years old could go get a rifle or a gun. They don't need no permit, no background check, or nothing anymore. Down here, where I live at in Tennessee, you can go out right now, 18 years old, go get a gun, and they sell it to you. They don't do no more background check or nothing.
Yeah.
How can we as parents send our kids to school or go to the store and we don't know if we're going to come back home?
Yeah. It's so sad to hear that, because I say enough of the negativity, and let's move on to a better America. We have to make changes. The president saying we're going to make some changes, but you know what? I've heard that so many times before, but so many other presidents on both sides. I'm not picking. I'm trying to keep politics out of it. I'm just saying you're the leader of this country. Make something happen and make it happen like today. You can make decisions on certain things, but you can't make a decision on something so crucial as this. These are our children. These are our loved ones that are being shot and killed for unnecessarily. This got to stop immediately. There has to be a way. I like to see groups get together. I like to see more town house meetings where they can discuss different topics to see what's being done at the local schools with the school districts and see if they have implementing new procedures of how to keep these doors locked and to have at least have somebody, retired military individuals to be volunteer and to be undercover at the school, but at least have somebody at the school that's armed. I'm not saying to arm the teachers, but arm somebody that's there at the school, a volunteer, to be at least two of them in each school. It should be able to be done. A lot of individuals would like to put in a day or two a month out of school to be there, to be security. They should all do it all around the whole country. I think this is something that people are lacking. They're not thinking straight. They're thinking about the politicians are thinking about their position and are they going to get voted again? You know what? I say, don't vote for these guys if they're not doing anything. Make sure they start doing something today, not tomorrow, but today they have to do it. Make it sure, because tomorrow you're going to hear about another shooting. There's so many shootings going on all over. Look at Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, all over the country, shootings all over. Why is that? Something is wrong. When the red flag law comes about, they got to have about doing a mental evaluation of these individuals. When you do the background check, do the mental evaluation as well. See if the people are, some folks suffer from depression, they're angry. Look at this gentleman who was the other day who got an operation, and he was in pain, called up his doctor. He said, I got more pain in my back. He was so dissatisfied. He goes to the hospital and shooting 4 people to get to the doctor, to kill him because he was suffering from pain. That's a mental disorder this guy had. So we have to know, if you see something, do something about it. Don't just stay quiet. People out there watching, you viewers, if you know somebody's suffering from something, they're talking about, oh, I will do this, I will do that. Do something about it right then and there, because you can prevent this from happening to other individuals out there as well. Go ahead, Carlos.
Joe, down in Connecticut, when that happened with my daughter, our governor put a tight law down. And he said anybody with a assault rifle will have to have it registered. Anybody with more than 10 magazines in one clip had to be registered. Okay? A lot of gun manufacturers left Connecticut for that reason. And one of them left Connecticut, went to Texas, because they knew that they can't make no money. That gun that killed my daughter, okay, after the shooting, they sold over 1 million guns, the same kind of gun that killed my daughter, out there in 1 year, a million, okay? The gun manufacturers don't care about people's life. They just care about getting money.
Yeah, well,
and that's why I say, Remington Arms just lost a big lawsuit against Newtown for $70 million. Okay? Because what they did was wrong, and the lawyers found out that gun they made, it was for the Army, not for people like us. And that gun, you cannot go hunting with it because you destroy the meat. That's how powerful is that gun. Okay? When we went to Washington, that we spoke up there, and I spoke to in the Senate, a lot of Republicans ask those questions. Well, you try and take the right of people. No, we're not trying to take the right of people. Okay? We just want an equal stuff put on the board. If you get a gun, you're going to go through all these background checks and all that. And if in between that, if you buy another gun, you get another background check. But no, if you get your permit, say in June, and something happened in August, okay, that you can't carry no more gun, they don't look at that because you already passed your check. They just bypass that. And that's one of the loopholes that we have been seeing. When we went up there, the first thing the Republicans was doing is saying, well, you try and take our rights. Okay, we're not trying to take nobody's rights. The Constitution was written over 100 years ago. That law should be changed. I go over here in Tennessee, I go to the stores, it's like Wild West. People carrying guns and on the side of them. That's not where we was brought up. And that's where the law should be changed, that if you're going to have a gun, you're going to carry it covered. Here in Tennessee and down south, you don't get no more background check. You don't have to hide the weapon or nothing. I know a lot of cops in Tennessee, they're scared to pull people over because they don't know if this guy got a gun or not. And that's a shame that our policemen are scared to pull people over when they do something wrong because they don't know if they're going to get shot or not.
Yeah. No, but then you get some of these states these politicians, when they want to defund the police in different states, that they don't. I mean, how can you defund the police? I mean, you need them there. A lot of these cities don't. Ever since they started defunding the police, the crime started going up and up. I mean, President Biden said yesterday, he says that we can't fail America again. And that's true. I mean, so let's do something about it now. I mean, he's the president. Let's make it happen. I mean, you have to remember the red flag law has to be taken into effect immediately, and making sure that everybody gets a background check, and making sure that you check with the mental health of these individuals and their criminal records to make sure that they are not able to walk into a pawn shop or any place and just buy a gun, off the street. I mean, there's weapons out there now. There's more weapons in this country, I think, than there is citizens in the United States. I mean, it's uncalled for. We have to make something happen and make it happen. The sooner the better, because we cannot expect this. We cannot have this happening again in any other place. I mean, when somebody takes your children away, and you could test it. You could test it that the feeling of losing a loved one. I mean, it's something that until it happens to you, you don't understand. People say, oh, it happened, and they will, like you say, the politicians, they walk away and they forget about it because they go back on. But if it happens to them and their family members, then things start being different. We don't want that to happen. We can make changes right now. I mean, they go overnight. They can sit down with the senators and in Congress and try to work something out, because we can't let this continue any longer. Carlos, you are a great friend and somebody I respect and I admire, and I feel so bad for what you have gone through all these years, and it's something that will always be with you for the rest of your life. But you're doing the right thing by putting the word out there, and you're like a spokesperson to these parents out there that lost their loved ones, and we need more people like you to talk about what can we do to make things better, because again, like I said, it's a real heartbreaker for all of us. I mean, I never seen so many journalists, media people. I actually try to do interviews, and they break down crying because that's how hard it is. It's tough to be able to even to just the feeling of that could happen to you, your loved ones. So I say, Carlos, we have to have something happen today.
Well, like when we met Obama in 2012, okay, we met him in Newtown High School, and he told us, we're in a war. We're losing the battle because they have more money than we do. And it's true. The gun manufacturer give these senators millions of dollars every year for their campaign. If we could stop that, the law would change, because people now vote them in because they don't have no money there.
Well, there's so much money is given away now. I mean, so much money is given away to so many different countries. We got to take care of our people here at home. I don't mind helping that we help out other people around the world. That's fine. But we got to take care of the issues that we got here first. Let's take care of our American citizens here, take care of our loved ones, take care of our families. We got to make sure that we I mean, you hear today about there's not enough baby formula for babies. There's not. I mean, this is unheard of. How can that be happening today? We got to be asking other countries to give us baby formulas because we don't have. We're like a third world country that we used to give to them. Now they're giving to us. I never seen that before. We have to do something. But like the president says, it has to be done. The sooner the better. I want Congress and the senators on both sides. I'm not talking politics. I'm talking about the way it is. I'm talking about America, Americans, what we got to do to keep our families safe and keep everybody from getting killed out there. It's happening too often. Yes, it's like every week you have a shooting someplace, different parts. If it's 2, 3 people, 4 people, it's happening constantly. This breaks my heart. I never seen anything like this in my life. Why? What can we do?
Well, like my son said, when they shoot him down in Florida, in Portland, he talked to thousands of people there. Okay, it was like 4 or 5 buses went from Connecticut down there to support them. And he said his sister got killed and nothing has been done.
Yeah.
Okay, it's true. Nothing has been done. The law is still the same law. The only way we're going to change the law is we vote. We get out there to vote and put the right people in there to help us
Yeah.
to change the law.
Yeah. Well,
You know, I don't go into politics, nothing like that, because they promise you everything.
Yeah.
But when they get in, they don't know you anymore.
yeah.
You
Well,
know, and that's why it's a shame. You know, we put them in there, and they think because we put them in there that they're there for good. No, that's what we should be getting our strength.
yeah,
Taking these senators and these Congress out, if they're not doing their job to help us
we
to
need
change the law.
we need a bipartisan gun law. I mean, a bipartisan gun reform is needed because this is where we're. I blamed a lot of the politicians again, like I said, on both sides, because they have to do something. It's just that one side says yes, the other side says no. Let's get uniformity on both sides. Let's say this is our family. It could be you, it could be me. Who's next? We don't know. But we have to get uniformity and stop all this negativity out there about, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, you got to say, we have to do it. I know I can do it. I'm going to make it happen. The president's got to say, it's got to happen today. He has to sit down and say, this comes by my desk tomorrow. I'm signing that off. No more this and no more that, because they have to stop. Somebody got to do something about it. Who else other than the president, the senators, the congressmen, all the politicians? Now that the election's coming around November, let me see what they're going to say. They got to be strong and say, this is what we're going to do and make it happen.
Joe, I was talking to one of the girls where Angels play. He told me that, I forgot what state it was, the governor passed a law to use the AR-15 to shoot theirs to keep the population down. That is wrong, because now we have people that go hunting for theirs. They only could catch so many a year. Now you're giving a green light to use this kind of rifle to shoot a deer, and you can't even eat it because it's going to destroy the meat.
Sure.
We have people in this world, they go hungry for no food or nothing, and you're going to destroy the meat and throw it away?
Yeah.
How can we say, enough is enough?
Yeah.
We have to start changing all these laws.
I say let's stop pointing fingers and let's start making changes. Is what we have to do now. We have to make these changes now, Carlos. I love you, man. You've been to my house, and you're a very, very sweet individual. And what happened there is in Connecticut, and what happened in Texas and Buffalo, what happened all over the country was happening. Like you said before, it's going to continue to happen unless these politicians on both sides start making things happen. Forget about politics. Let's make it happen, because we have to be like families. We love our brothers, one another. I don't care if you're black, white, whatever you are, Republican, Democrat. We don't care about that. Right now, we care is about our children, our family, our loved ones that we have to protect and make these changes happen. The sooner, the better. Carlos, I know time goes by so fast talking about these topics, but I want to tell you, Carlos, that once again, that if somebody wants to reach out to get something going with the playground, where can they reach? What website is available?
The website is Where Angels Play.
Where Angels Play?
Yes.
.com?
And you Google that, and you see all the playgrounds that are coming up and how many we did and all that.
So
the memories of families.
So Where the Angels Play, and you have 59. Yes. You have 59 playgrounds across the country right now, and we'll continue to do more. And hopefully we can put a stop to this. Mr. Soto, thank you so much for being on the show today. God bless you always. And again, our condolences to you and the family and all of those that lost ones in most recently. Take care. We'll see you soon. God bless.
God bless.